Welcome back to the Space Miata channel. So we've had some issues with this build, but hopefully with you watching this video, you'll be able to discover the problems and be able to fix them yourself instead of having to do what I have done. So stick around. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Like and subscribe, comment down below. I'm gonna try doing some different video format in the next video. This one is definitely taking me a while, as you will see why here shortly. All right, we're gonna go ahead and install our dowel spacers for the head gasket. So right here in the back of the block, a little recess, and just kind of get it started. And you'll take a hammer and you just start lightly going around, getting in circles. You can see it's not level, so we need to tap that side there. There we go. Then we can give it just a nice good. And you heard that there's just a different sound it makes. We're not hitting it hard, you're just putting it in a little bit. All right, ARP head studs are on. Time for the gasket. All right, heads all together. Let's go ahead and start putting on intake and exhaust, and then hopefully get this thing fired up within the next few days. So before we go ahead and mount the exhaust, I want to show off the Downstar hardware that I've been using for the last 11 years of this car. These bolts come in zinc plated, stainless steel, and grade 8 as well. They are anodized purple to all the different colors that you want, and they hold up really well with the heat. So this is the old used one, and then here's a brand new one that I've got that I've used. But the anodizing holds up well. They hold the exhaust in. I do torque them down after a good heat run, and they still work. Probably should be running exhaust studs, but I like this appearance better, so they're still great. Check them down in the description below. We got the exhaust bolts tightened up. I need to tighten the coolant line down over here, but I figure I'll go ahead and show a product that I've been thinking about releasing. Crow's foot for all your AN fittings. This one here is for 16 AN. I needed this one to fit in the back of the head. I'll show you that in a later video. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you exactly how I use this one. This is a 3/16 aluminum. I like to release it in 1/4 inch, but if you guys would like it in a nice thin profile so you can get it into tight areas, just let me know. So this was the side that I was doing that I needed that special tool for, so I can be able to get in here and turn, since I have zero clearance on my coolant lines. All right, so the ignition coil's all in, spark plugs are all done. Got the grounding wire plugged into the bottom of the engine block. We'll go ahead and start working on getting the alternator on. And their brackets all in, got that all wired up. Now we're going to go ahead and get ready to start putting this air intake on and get the rest of these coolant lines run to the throttle body and run the back coolant line back into the engine block. So we'll go ahead and get that installed next, and we are getting so close to being ready to start this thing. Since Miatas are notorious for draining the oil down the side of the engine block, and I got tired of dealing with that and cleaning it up every time, I decided I might have a product ready to release. Let me know in the comments if you guys like this. Oil drain. That way you don't have to worry about your oil leaking down the side of the block. Now this is version 1.4, 1.6. I need to update this version a little bit more. I have the arm for the intake coming, so that way everybody else that's running a stock Miata air intake can have this feature. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys think that you're interested in this, and I will be posting this very shortly on the website. All right, so we got the air intake on, we've got the oil catch can plumbed in, we got the fuel lines plumbed in, all our coolant lines are done, fuel injectors are hooked up, cam angle sensor, ignition packs all hooked up, got all the throttle body sensors, everything else is hooked up. So the only thing left now to do is the timing. So it is that time to put the timing belt on. Time. All right. A simple little notch down here in the pulley, and then a little notch indicator right there above it. We line those two up with. We want to go ahead and start by pulling that belt tight and getting the groove set in there. Then we'll feed it over this here, keeping it tight. We'll come back around here. Now with these gears, I have removed the front little gear indicator or timing plate cover, and I have marked on the original one and then tapped in these little holes so that way I kind of line, and it's weird. So your intake is actually E to here and I on this side, marked down into the center. So you'll follow like a line right to that point and a line right to this point as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and line these gears up here in just a second. Well, it's not one thing after another. Seems that the idler tensioner and idler pulley are too far apart. This belt was way too hard to get on. There's absolutely no play in the belt. So I have to now take the water pump back off, get a new one, hope it's gonna fit, and do this all over again. And I had to be just sure, because that was an RPM by Gates high performance timing belt. I went with my regular Gates timing belt, and it doesn't even fit across there. I struggled this hard to get this other one on and over the idler pulley. So that one obviously isn't it as well, and I've changed out between different timing gears to make sure. So the water pump is my main problem because the idler pulleys are too far apart, creating no allowance for tension. Awesome. This is what I noticed about the water pumps. So the SKP one that I have is 5.5 inches center to center. And what do we have here? We have 5 3/4 of an inch center to center. Right there, 5 3/4, maybe a little bit more. 3/4 of an inch center to center. So now the timing belt should fit. So let's see if that happens. I'm so much better. Let's get this little bit of slack out of it. Now there's some play to the belt, so rotate it over, pull the slack out of it, be set. All right, so I was able to get it running, fix the fuel line issue. Now, I don't understand what's really going on here. I'm cranking, I get pressure, but there's not hardly any oil coming into the valley. But I'm showing pressure, so maybe something's blocking it. It's been one thing after another with this car to get it started. So I'm gonna keep going through and trying to figure out if I'm getting oil pressure up to the rest of the head of the block or what else is going on. And also that cam gear on this intake side is getting hard to operate. So I need to figure out why this thing is not filling the valley with oil. So, well, doing a little bit of investigation, and ouch. But on a positive note, I finally got a Mercury Capri valve cover. Notice that I'm not going to be able to run my coil pack on the back here. It doesn't have any mounting space for it. So I'll have to end up doing the original mount with the singular bolt coming up out of the back. Or I might find some other way. But for now, I need to clean this thing up, get it ready. Also was able to get another head as well. Need to strip that down, send that off, clean clean it up, rebuild it with new valve springs, valve seats, and lap the valves too as well. So gonna go ahead and cut the video off here. I think I've had enough fun and enjoyment for this video. Going to be releasing that oil drain product very soon. I have a few people that are reviewing it, giving me some product feedback so I can figure out how exactly to make the best product that works for you guys. So until next time, we will see you guys on the next video.